All right, so we are starting with the topic which I've already told us last time. So let's assume that we are through with row granularity, that is reshaping our data rows in order to be able to pass into a workable model for analysis. So I will start by confirming if you have any question before we proceed. Do you have any question on what we have done so far? If you can hear me, I want you to be fast with your answer so we can move forward. Did you have any question? You cannot even hear me. Do you have any?
No,
Please, you have to be attentive so that we can move faster.
I can hear you.
Network there. Now,
No,
just the same way you are expected as a data scientist to reshape your roles. The same thing you are also expected to remodel your columns. And that is why what we are focusing on now is preparing columns for modeling. So after setting the rows granularity, you need to prepare your columns for modeling. You will discover that some columns are not properly modeled to be able to fit into standard analysis model. So there is need for us to prepare our column, to do some cleanup on our data column. Okay, so
this is like the only one I can even use myself.
I will try to explain the need for us to also perfect our columns. Now, all this we are doing is for us to have a well-structured data set that can fit into analysis model. So I said, after setting the rows granularity, you need to prepare your columns for modeling as well. So all we shall be focusing on this session is how to prepare the columns. All value, one of the things we need to ensure that our column does not have is that all values should be null. That is, no missing value. No missing value. So it's one of the things you need to ensure that you don't have in your data. Then we need to also ensure that all values should be numeric. We need to also ensure that all values should be numeric. There are some analysis, if all values are not numeric, you may not be able to perform, particularly aggregate analysis, where you might want to sum up the values in a particular column. Don't be surprised. Most of these numbers can look like numeric, but Python may not have recognized them as number. So we are going to see in a moment. So you might be having some analysis issue when such is not or are not resolved. So like I said, and there are a couple of functions we are going to be using to check whether we have non-null value in our data set. Now, for example, if we are working with the same data, which is this, I think the name is entertainment. Now, if I want to check about the data, let's say check-in, I want to check if there is a place where we have non-null value. checking for non null values in a data set. So all I'll simply do is to type the name of the data set and then concatenate it with info. So this will give us some details. This will give us some details, whether we have not now. You can see from the output we got now, this is the breakdown. Class, pandas, whatever. And if you check here now, there are 600. So I'm not working with the one we have reduced, because it's like we have not stored it in a different variable. So this is just like what I was saying the other time. So we ought to have saved the whole of this outcome in another variable, so that each time we call entertainment, or we call that particular variable name, it will be calling this one with 150, because this one is the clean version, while this one is still the raw data. But however, what we are trying to verify here is we want to check whether there is a place where we have missing value. Now, if you check here, now we have 600 none, which means that what all the columns are currently occupied with value. So this is the function you can use to check information about the data set you are working with. Now, like I said, our focus here under preparing column for modeling, number one is for us to check for all values should be, to make sure that all values should be non-null. And under this, we'll be identifying missing value or non-values using the info function, which I just used. And we'll also use the is now. Is now is another function that we will be engaging for us to ensure that we don't have not or non-null. Then number two, we'll also be looking at all values should be numeric. So here we'll be converting field from text data types to numeric data type. Then we'll also, under this category of ensuring that all numbers should be numeric, we will also turn fields into numeric field using conditional logic with np.where function. They will also turn categorical field into numeric field using dummy function. Now, the hit here is that there are some kind of professional advice given to a data scientist. There are some algorithms that can handle non and non-numeric value, including tree-based model and some of the classification model, but we are going to focus on the most used method. So we are starting with identifying missing value. That is our starting point. Identifying missing value. Identifying missing value, which I said is the first category under preparing the column for modeling. Identifying missing value. Now, you can identify missing value or missing data with the info. Remember, that is what I have just applied, or is now. Now, let's look at the application of some of this with the data we are working with. So I think there is need for us to save a copy of this so that, let me see if I, okay, we already have I think this data set, okay, this one, it was the assignment. Yes, I remember. So it was the assignment. I think the other data set, we have already given it a name if we are working with that, which is what name did we use here? Customer gen. Customer gen. I want to make it a short name. Okay, let me see if I can just take it. So let me recall this data. Customers. Customers gens. Underscore gens. Okay, so we are working with this data and I want to check for missing value. So like I said, I will simply just do customer gens dot info dot info. So you can see that from here, customer gen data sets with all this header 5. No, that's what there are no missing value. At the same time, if you check here now, you can see the way it has reflected the type of data that customer is object. In D is float. That is where you have double number, like decimal number. So with this, we have some detail. Now I said we can use this info to check. Then for missing value that we are focusing on, remember I recommended 2 functions. It's either you use the is now, or you use this info to check for missing data or missing value. So what we are going to do here before we start doing that, we will have to copy this very one, this original one, so that in case we want maybe after some modeling, after some cleanup, we want to go back to the old one. So I will just resave it. Let's copy this very one, which is a customer. I have to save it the short name so that customer underscore gen. So this one will be customer. That name is too long. Let me just make this one customer and then equals to dot copy. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating a copy of this. So I will still have this as the raw data. Then I have this as the one we want to work with as we proceed. So I will just run it. So a copy has been created. So if I run customer now, customer, I should have this. And then if I also run customer, just to be sure that we have a copy of it, I have customers underscore gen. I also have a copy of it. Now, I think now that we have this copy, so I'll be working with the one we just copied, which is customer. So let me call it.
Can you go up a bit? Can you go up a bit?
Okay, here. Are you okay now?
I want to see where you called the customer journey. No, Tigo.
Where I call the customer jet from. Is it this data?
And I want to see where you called the copy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Is it here? Okay. Oh. I think it's from here. It was the first data we loaded in now. Are you okay?
No, not this Oppo. Okay, okay.
Go down.
Yes.
Okay, I should continue.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So hope you understood how I copied, because we want to start doing a lot of lot of cleanup. I will not want don't want to lose the original copy. That is why I have to use this copy to copy this and save it into another variable. So I'll be working with the customer. Meanwhile, we still have customer underscore gens as the original one. Okay, so now since we have been able to save,
Main data.
yeah, we have saved the main data. Now let's look at how to check for missing value, which we have already done. Now, remember I said there are two methods we can use to check for missing value. And we have used the first method, which is this now. So now I can quickly do, just for us to be on the same page, I can just do info. So this will give me an idea of if there are missing value. Supposing under this header, instead of saying 5, you are saying 4, you know that what? There's a missing value in that particular column. But since all of them are 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, it means there is no missing value. Hope you are with me. Now, the second method is using
Yes, sir.
the is now. I mentioned it that under the first category of column preparation, where we are ensuring that we don't have none. We either use .info to check, or we use is now. So if we are using this to check, so we are going to concatenate that with the name of the data, and then we'll simply say is now. So once you run this will also give you an idea. If you have false, all true, it means that there is no what? Missing value. If there's a missing value, it will have given us not a number. So let's even run it on the main data and see whether there will be a missing value there. So the main data is customer underscore gen. Don't know whether that gen is capital letter again. Okay, so even this, there is no missing. Sorry, I was supposed to put, no, this is not the one. Okay, both of them are clean ones, so there's no need of working with this. Let's just continue. So that is how to use the is now to check if there is a missing value. Once the outcome is one of these Boolean value, if it is true, it means that you have missing value. If it is false, it means you don't have missing value. Now, to look for only rows with missing value, how do we go about this? If we are to look for only rows with missing value, I want to check whether we are working with the right data set. Because until we have situation where we have missing value, we may not. Okay, here at this point, this entertainment, I think we should use this entertainment because I want a data set where we have all this so that you know how we are amending them. Because since this data we are working with does not have missing value, and if they don't have missing value, we may not be really be seeing the impact of what we are doing. Let me see from my data here. Let me see the data set we are working with. To just check. Customers. This is the data set we should be working with. Let me see. It's like that one is the one we generated from. This is not the data set we are working with, right? This is not. This is not the data set we are working with. We are supposed to work with this data set because we have NaN, we have missing value. So let's quickly go and read that data set because if you continue working with that we're working, we may not be getting reasonable results. Okay. So let me quickly read that data. Let's say PD dot read. I guess it's a CSV data. Let me check. It's a CSV data. Okay. Read underscore CSV. Hope you are with me. Are you here? So let's go back there. Customer CSV.
Yes, sir.
Customer those. Okay.
Yes, sir.
No problem.
My recording has stopped.
No. It's a throw error. Throw error. Since it's a CSV file. What did it say? No such file in there. What is a CSV? Okay. PD.read customer. Customers.csv. To close one of this. You follow the directory. From desktop class. Dot class.
Suppose my own.
The network battery. I'm coming. The slash class plus
Your
that.
screen is hanging now.
It should be from your end. Are you sure it's from your end? Yes. dot CSV. Is it still hanging? Check. Is it still hanging?
It's moving gradually now.
Okay. Come and track slash data slash customers dot CSV. Okay, so
Use 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 two dots.
no, it's as well. Can you see my screen? Let me.
Mine is two.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. Now, this is the data we should be working with. At least we have a lot of NA here so that we can be getting results. So
Hey, there's something I want to verify. How do you count to know how many dots to use? Mr. Prosper,
depending on
I
the
want to know how I'm supposed to count and know how many dots I should put in locating my file.
yes, how you know is you look at the directory. If you come here, are you see if you are seeing my script so that I can explain it from here? Are you seeing my screen?
Mm.
Okay, so if you are seeing it,
Yes.
good. You just have to know where the data you are targeting is. For example, now this
Mm.
folder class is in desktop, and inside class I have data folder. Inside data folder I have this file that I'm looking for. So you now that one dot means enter data folder.
Mm.
Second dot means enter what? Class. Are you getting it? I don't know if you are with me.
Mm.
Good. Now, if you check,
Yes, yes.
good. Now, if, for example, now, here now, the reason why I use one dot now is that if I did not mention this data, I will just put two dots there to start from customer. Did you understand it?
Okay. Yes, yes, yes.
But because I mentioned data, I just need only one step to get to inside data. I just need only one step back to get to this. But if I did not mention this at all, I need two steps to get to data. Is that clear now? Okay, so again, your network is disturbing. So let me give it, uh,
Oh, let me share my screen so that you see my.
okay, all right. Oh yeah, share. Okay, let me unshare.
Are you
Okay,
seeing mine now?
yes.
I use two dots here. Then see my directory. It's just data, and I mentioned this one already. And desktop.
Where's your directory? Where's your main folder? I can't hear you. Yes, I've seen it. I have seen it. But
Yeah.
I need to see your file structure.
Inside desktop.
Yes, inside desktop, you call two. You need to show me that your file directory from here so that I will know why you use two dots. Okay, you have a folder. What is your folder name on the desktop? What is the first folder name? Is it data?
Data. Yes, I had to remove it from all the folders
Wait. In, wait, in your data now, you now have the data.
so that it's not. This is a folder.
Where is it? I'm not data. Oh yeah, open it. Inside it, you have
This is a folder on desktop.
hmm. Since it's work for you, there's no problem. I think you are also correct on that because you specify 2 steps, which means that from desktop, it counted desktop as the first entry. Then before it counted
Okay.
data as the second. So that is how it counted your own now. So let's continue.
Thank
Okay, so now what I was trying to do, so let me say this. This is customer. In fact, let me use a capital letter so that it will be differentiated from the first one I was using. Customer equals to. Now, so I have this. Good. Now, remember, I want to copy this one. I want to have 2 versions. So customers. So one will be, okay, let me just say customer raw so that it will be clear. Raw data, then dot copy. Dot copy. What did I have here? Okay, so it can be this. What I'm copying is, I wanted this one to be the name of the data, so I'll call the customer. So now I have customer. So I'll be working with, okay, let's just confirm if we have it before we proceed with the other copy. Let's confirm if we have the customer raw. Okay, so we have it. So I'll continue with customer. So I'm keeping the raw data. Work with it. Now, let's quickly check this for those things we were doing before, which is dot info. We want to check whether there are places where we have missing value. So you can see what I was saying. You can see the result we are getting here. Under name, there is no missing value. Under age, we have what? Missing value, because the number here is not equal to this. In fact, under followers, you have more missing value there. In sign up, no missing value. Income, no missing value. Hope you are with me now. Hello, I want to ensure that you are following. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, so we have, and I also said we can also use.
Yes, sir.
I also said we can also use another method, which is NA, to check. If we don't want to check for missing value, whether we have none, using the info dot, that is dot info, we can also use the second method, which is method 2 for checking for missing values. Method 2, like I said, is using is now. So if we want to use this method, we will just simply call our data set customer dot is now. So this will tell us, you can see that we have places where we have true, and also what? False. So these are the 2 ways you can use to check while preparing your column for modeling. Check for missing value. So now, to look for only rows with missing value is our next target. Now we want to call out only those rows, because right now everything is mixed up. If this data volume is more than this, you may not even be seeing some of them. So it is ideal thing to do to call out only the rows with the missing value so that you can focus on them and know how many of them are there. So what we are looking at is what? Selecting only rows with missing value. So once you are not following, make sure you speak out. So if you are not saying anything, I will assume you are following. So now, for us to do that, we are going to use a function called, let me put it here, using .any, using .any as is equals to, as is equals to 1. So this is the function we are going to use. We will concatenate this function with the is now, and then that will help us to fetch out only rows with the missing value from the entire data set. So the syntax will be, we call that data set, which is the customer dot is now, then we concatenate any dot any, like I said, is a function, then as is is equals to 1. As this is equals to 1. Now, if we run this, you see that as this equals to 1. So what we needed to get is to look for only rows with missing value. So what you have here, these are the selected row where you have the missing value. So this is just like selecting, because this one outputted the whole data set. So this one, it brought out the list. Now, to apply checking only rows with missing value, what we are going to do is for us to call the data like this. Then we use select. We use select as from this data, customer, select where customer is NA dot any as is equals to 1. If we run this, you see that this brought out only the rows in that data set where we have the missing value. So if you trace this row 2, there's a place where you have missing value. If you trace this row 3, there's a place where you have missing value. If you trace this row 5, under either more than one column or one of the column, you will definitely find missing value. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just make sure you are noting down this syntax, because after the class, there will be classwork. Now, we have been able to select. There are a couple of things we have learned now. One, we know how to check for the data information. From there, we'll be able to know, based on the way it's going to analyze this not null count, we will know if there's a missing value. Then we have also been able to use the is now to check for missing value. And then, of course, this one to list out the data in a vertical form. And then this any to call out only rows with missing value. Now we are now looking at hand lay. So one thing is for you to verify whether we have them. Now that we have them, so what do we do? How do we convert them? How do we change them to working value? How do we change them to working value? Will be our next focus. Okay, hope you are with me. Now, the next topic is for us to,
Yes.
the next topic is handling, because we have confirmed that there are missing value. Handling, missing values. It's a set. So there are multiple ways to handle missing data in a data frame. So there are multiple ways to handle missing values. So the first one we want to use is, the first one I want to use is drop now. So you can use drop now as a function. You can use, then we can also use fill now. Number two, you can use fill now. All these are functions needed to handle missing value. Now, with these two methods, the first one, which is drop now method, removes rows, which is this one. This one removes rows or column with missing values. While this imputes, fill imputes missing values. Now, let's start with the first one, which is the drop now. So all I need to do is to remember that I'm using the main data, which is customer. Sorry, it should be small. Customer, customer dot drop now. customer dot drop now dot reset index. Remember, we have used it before. Now we want to, this is a kind of conditional. So where drop is equals to, where drop is equals to true. So that is you specifying the condition where it's true. They are the ones to be removed. So you can see that with this, you have been able to remove, this is what is remaining from this list where we have any, all these ones has been removed, and then we have justice without missing value. Is it clear? So that is using the drop now.
Yes, sir.
So I want you to share your screen, and then you are going to perform from, I think from here, info is now down to this, and then finally this. So share your screen and do that before we proceed, so it doesn't get too much. Share your screen, share your screen. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Okay.
Yeah, my screen is here. Can you see it?
I'm waiting for you.
Oh, no.
Sorry. I think I'm the one that did not unshare.